So throughout this Lenten season, I've noticed that the vast majority of the questions I've received have actually been about my conversion story. So I'm kind of curious myself, what about my conversion story is what draws you in about it? Let me know in the comments because I'm actually curious just due to how many different questions I've heard about it. Is it because you converted? Is it because you're considering converting? Anything like that, let me know. But I'm Allie Marie. This is my Catholic perspective, and if you hit the subscribe button or the little church bell, you'll get all the notifications on a daily basis through Lent for the videos that we're posting as a YouTube Catholic community. So today I will be addressing a question from David Santiago, who asked about what the reaction from my family was when I converted Catholic. So I had been raised Reformed, as I had explained, but I actually wasn't the first person or even the second person to convert Catholic in my family. So I grew up with 5 other siblings, and when I was in 7th grade, my mom actually converted Catholic. And it was around 7th grade that I also started to kind of butt heads with my mom, right? So part of it, I'm sure, had to do with me being a teenager, and teenage girls are just trouble anyway, or so they say. I don't know. I haven't actually had one. So, but another aspect was the fact that I grew up in a household that was more do what I say because I said so, and the why was never really explained. And I myself am a very big why person. I want to understand why this is this way and not just, because it's the way it is. So when my mom converted Catholic at that time, I essentially vowed to never become Catholic. I was like, my parents have always said, say that you're never going to do something because that means you're going to. They made me say I was never going to go to Western Michigan University, and guess what? I did. They made me say that I would never convert Catholic, and guess what? I did. So I think on my mom's side, she has always been praying for her children that they would find God in the Catholic Church. And so she converted then. And then my older brother, actually, he converted Catholic his first year in college. He went to Franciscan University and discerned into the priesthood. And he attended seminary for a while and is currently taking a break from that. But he is still very heartfelt and very deep in the Catholic faith. He speaks Latin if he wants. So he's very educated in everything having to do with the Catholic faith. And he was actually who ended up being my sponsor when I converted. So when I converted Catholic, I think my family would have been thrilled to hear me accepting any religion, to be honest. I was just such a wild child that I think that if they learned that I was starting to subscribe to any type of moral structure, as long as it, Buddhism or whatever it might have been, I think that they would have been happy that I was at least reining in myself a little. But the fact of the matter was that I started asking the questions. I dated somebody who was Catholic and went to Mass every Sunday for the 3 months that we dated. And it was by the end of those 3 months that I realized that the body and blood of Christ was actually present in the Eucharist. And if that truth had been held on to, what other truths did the Catholic Church hold on to? So it wound up being just this realization of well, maybe there are some truths here. And even if I have a rebellion against this aspect, against this person in the church, maybe there's more to it than that. So then I started asking all the questions, and I told them, and obviously they were just overjoyed and so glad that I was finally going to be putting my feet on the ground, because when I decide to do something, I do something. I go all at it and I go all out. Tend to be an all or nothing type of person, and I'm trying to work on being a little more adaptable and flexible and not so or so one or the other. But so that was kind of what ended up happening when I converted. I jumped in with both feet, and I haven't looked back any moment. I mean, it was when I converted that I actually got prudence added to my arm, where I had committed to not drinking anything but red wine for the rest of my life, and made a couple other commitments that essentially were just acting with wisdom and just trying to grow as a person to be more of a person that I would want to look to for advice. And that's only by learning the catechism and learning the Bible and meditating and reading the saints and doing those things that God's grace can be bestowed upon us to access that wisdom. So yeah, so that's how they reacted. They were thrilled. They were so happy that I was no longer going to be wandering off and going to strange places and coming home at 6 a.m. And I wasn't even living with them, but they were very, very happy. So I understand this isn't everyone's experience. I know like Lizzie's answers is joining the church this Easter. Congratulations, welcome. I kind of want to do a formal video just for Lizzie because we've had some discussions in the past and it would be fun to revisit those as well. But I know that some parents are very hardcore in their religion and it happens to not be Catholicism. And the biggest thing that we can do is show them love, show them grace, be kind of like understanding of where they're coming from. But at the same time, like we're called to leave our families, we're called to pick up and leave everything behind and move forward. So regardless of the persecution, I always say, if you're not being persecuted, you're probably not doing it right. So just keep on fighting that good fight. And I mean, we're all in a state of constant conversion anyway. So, and that should be continually bringing people closer to God, closer to the love that he has to offer through us to those people. So God bless you all. Happy day 6 of Lent. And we will see you tomorrow on maybe another topic of my conversion. What do you think? I'm curious on why you guys want to know so much about it. So again, visit those comments. Let me know. And we'll talk to you soon. God bless.